another episode of Creating Powerful Impact. I'm your host, Shay Wheat, certified event producer and CEO of Grace and Ease Productions, where we help business owners like you to host events that aren't just memorable, they're actually profit machines. And today we're talking about something that can totally shift the way you approach events. How to turn what feels like a one-time event into a consistent client generator. Because, let's face it, you've probably spent countless hours planning your event, crafting your pitch, coordinating speakers, sending emails, and once it's all over, you're left thinking, okay, great, now what? Well, I've got some good news for you. What I've told you that is just probably something that is going to be, in my opinion, it could revolutionize the way that you're looking at your business. We want it to be utilizing events to make it so that they are reliable, they're a repeatable system for generating and bringing in new clients without constantly chasing down the next opportunity or creating a whole new event from scratch. Cool? So that's what we're going to dive into today, and I can't wait to share with you some of these strategies. So first things first, first thing we need to do is possibly shift your perspective. Too many people see their events, like I said, as this one-off, a single standalone event. But in reality, your event should just be one part of an entire larger client customer journey. Instead of thinking, this is my moment to sell, think of your event as this bridge, taking your audience from where they are to where they need to go next. Bridges, it's so funny. In my house, I've got so many different bridges until I started to really think about the client customer journey in this perspective. Did I realize, oh, there's bridges all over. I'm a bridge. Doing and producing events is a bridge. So it's nice to actually see that my environment is influencing me and to support you as well. But first, let me go ahead and tell you about a client of mine who was running a series of high ticket masterminds. Each event was fantastic and great on its own, but he felt like every time he finished, he had to start from scratch all over again for the next event. So when he, engaged me for some consulting, he was like, okay, what can we do? And so we switched gears. Instead of treating the event as a single transaction, we turned it into the first step of an ongoing relationship. We designed follow-up strategies that nurture the attendees beyond the event and position the mastermind as a part of a long-term solution for them. The result? Instead of having to do consistent sales calls, attendees saw the event as the beginning of their journey, and they were like super eager to continue working with him afterwards. That's the magic. When you reframe your event as part of a bigger journey, it stops being a one-time deal and starts being a consistent lead generation tool for you. So that's number one. Next up, let's talk about creating evergreen content from your event. Evergreen content from your event. Yes, you heard that correct. One of the biggest mistakes I see business owners make is thinking that once the event is over, it's done and dusted, which is not the case. Your event is literally a gold mine of content that can be used again and again and again in supporting you in bringing in new clients. So let me give you an example. I had a client who hosted an incredible 2-day event. They had amazing speakers, fantastic presentations, and plenty of high ticket sales. I'm all about it being profitable on the front end. But once the event was over, they just archived the recordings and that was it. So we decided to change the strategy. We repurposed those recordings into a series of mini trainings, some lead magnets, and even a course that could be either sold or given away to attract new leads. On top of that, the amount of social media and memes and sizzle reels, behind the scenes footage captured just really allowed us to create a ton of FOMO and also get the word out about the next event. So the beauty of this strategy is that allows you to continue driving interest and engagement long after the event has ended. And frankly, it helps you fill your room for the next event as well. And I know that is one of the biggest questions that I get from all of my clients and potential clients is like, how in the world do I fill the room? If you already have an event, you've already filled it, let's utilize those assets to support you in filling the next one. You can use those snippets of your best content as part of an email sequence, social media campaign, even, free resources to build your list. So suddenly, this one-time event is now an evergreen marketing machine that works for you all year round. So think about it. What is stopping you from leveraging the content you've already created to keep attracting new clients? Nothing. You have it already. Let's utilize it. Let's repurpose it. All right. So that's two. Number three. And I would say this is probably one of the most powerful strategies you need to have in place. And that is a post-event funnel to nurture attendees into long-term clients. And I know you're probably thinking, but Shay, like I just made the offer at my event. Shouldn't have they like already bought right then and there if they were interested? Yes and no. Now, sure, some people are going to be ready to buy on the spot, but others, sometimes they need a little bit more time. They need to either see more value. Maybe they're, just not in the right space. They're not quite ready. They're not ready to make the decision right in this moment. They're, somebody that needs to strategically go through things. There's the emotional buyers that are like, yes, let's go right here, right now. And then there's the logical buyers that need a little bit of time. They need a little bit more hand holding. They need, like, can somebody just spend a little moment with them to lay it out a little bit more, right? So based on how people buy, you might need to go ahead and implement this post-event funnel. And when you incorporate this, it looks like this. So after your event, don't just say like, awesome, thanks so much for coming, peace out, and disappear, right? Instead, go ahead and follow up with a series of emails or touch points that continue to provide value. If you have a sales team, obviously they can be reaching out, and it should be divided up. It should be even before the event, we can be taking a look at who, quote unquote, is in charge of these potential clients coming in. So they know them, they get to know them pre-event, they get to know them during the event, they get to see where they're at post-event, right? We can add and layer in these different touch points. And, we can also share some behind the scenes insights from the event. If you're doing some email campaigns, you could do some recapping of the takeaways, possibly offer an exclusive bonus to keep them engaged. So one of my clients did this, we implemented it, and within 2 weeks of the event ending, check this out, they converted an additional 20% of attendees into high ticket clients. Like that's huge, especially considering that these are the people that didn't buy right away. So this is the pro tip for you. Make your post-event funnel really, really personal. You want to make sure it feels personal. It's not just an AI chat GPT, generated thing. You want to make sure it is customized and feeling personal. So you can use the event to also segment out your audience. So, when you're following up with them, you make sure that you're following up with the right people and the right message. People that showed up versus didn't show up, the people that were in the room versus virtual, the people that showed up on day 1 and day 2 and not day 3, so you can customize it based on the information and the data that you've collected during the event and who this person is. The more tailored your communication, the more likely they're going to be to take action, because essentially you see them, you hear them, you know who they are, you know where they're at. So there you have it. 3 strategies to turn your one-time event into a consistent client generator. You're going to reframe your event as a part of a bigger client customer journey. You're going to go ahead and repurpose your content into evergreen assets, and then use post-event funnels to nurture those leads into long-term clients. And by doing this, you're not only going to make your events more profitable, but you're also going to create a reliable system for client acquisition that runs year-round. And so if you want to go ahead and dive deeper into creating powerful events that drive long-term results, I've got the thing just for you. Head on over to eventfreegift.com and grab my initial event planning playbook. It's packed with like a ton of different types of strategies to help you plan and execute high conversion events that aren't just one-offs. They're game changers. Thank you so much for joining me today on Creating Powerful Impact. If this episode sparked any ideas or gave you an aha moment, please share that with friends and colleagues who are also looking to scale their business through events. And let's keep growing together. I want to make sure that you're also remembering to keep bringing that grace and ease into everything you do. Until next time. Thank you so much for listening to the Creating Powerful Impact podcast. If you are a successful coach, speaker, author, or thought leader who would like to be on this program, simply visit creatingpowerfulimpact.com/guest. If you are someone who got something out of this interview, would you please do me a favor and share this episode on social media? Just do a quick screenshot with your phone and text it to a friend or post it on your socials. Also, if you know somebody that would be a great guest, tag them on social media to let them know about the show and include the hashtag Creating Powerful Impact. I love seeing all of your posts and great guest selections. We are regularly putting out new episodes and content. To make sure you don't miss any episodes, go ahead and subscribe. Your thumbs up, ratings, and reviews go a long way to help promote the show, and they really mean a lot to me and my team. Want to know more about us? Head on over to our website, graceandeaseproductions.com, or follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram. Just look for Grace and Ease Productions on your favorite platform. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.